Hi, good morning. I am the lone journalist for KRAZ TV. Another book review, Citizen Reporters. Well, we're citizen journalists and reporters too, here in 2023. But this was 1890s. 1892, SS McClure, Ida Tarbell, and the magazine that rewrote America. They really did, by Stephanie Gorton. Stephanie Gorton is one of the greatest writers next to Ida Tarbell that I've ever read. There was just, every page she could find something that was, she would do quotes from people that was just, to me, was quite humorous and revealing. Well, there is Stephanie, excuse me. Stephanie Gorton has written for NewYorker.com, Smithsonian.com, the Los Angeles Review of Books, The Toast, The Millions, and other publications. Previously, she had held editorial roles at Canongate Books, The Overlook Press, and Open Road. A graduate of the University of Edinburgh and Goucher's College MFA program in creative nonfiction, she lives in Providence, Rhode Island, with her family. Well, it is a book from, let's see, what press? The imprint of HarperCollins. You know, Harper's and a lot of the Doubleday and all that got started during the time when these people were publishing. The President of the United States made headlines around the world when he publicly attacked the press, denouncing reporters who threatened his reputation as muckrakers and forces of evil. That was 1906. The president was Theodore Wilson, and his fury was aimed at McClure's magazine. One of the most influential magazines in American history, McClure drew more than 400,000 readers and published the groundbreaking stories that defined the Gilded Age, including the investigation of Standard Oil that toppled the Rockefeller monopoly. Actually, it made him even bigger in the end. Driving this revolutionary publication were two improbable newcomers united by single-minded ambition. SS McClure was an Irish immigrant who, despite bouts of mania, overthrew his impoverished upbringing and bent the New York media world to his will. His steadying hand and star reporter was Ida Tarbell, a woman who defied gender expectations and became a notoriously fearless journalist. Through McClure's, they cemented investigative journalism's crucial role in democracy and introduced Americans to the voices of Willa Cather, Arthur Conan Doyle, Robert Louis Stevenson, Joseph Conrad, and many others. Tracing McClure's from its meteoric rise to its spectacularly swift and dramatic combustion, Citizen Reporters is a thrillingly told, deeply researched biography of a powerhouse magazine that forever changed American life. It's also a timely study that demonstrates the crucial importance of journalists who are unafraid to speak the truth of power. To speak truth to power. That's surely it. Some great little photos in here of the folks. He came over from Ireland, and Ida Tarbell went to Allegheny College, but she was born in the oil fields, and her dad got, I don't know, what do you call it, hostile takeover by the Rockefeller, so she didn't have a good feeling for them anyways, and she really didn't want to do the article, but I'll tell you what, she went to Paris and found her own self. She said, I'm not getting married, I'm just, because, you know, I got too many things to do and I'm my own person. So Ida Tarbell really knew how to write, and she was such an excellent writer too. I mean, her first expose when she was with magazine, McClure finally started the magazine He went to college for Knox College for a little while, or I think, yeah, he graduated. But anyways, he finally ended up starting a magazine, but he was real, well, I won't say he was pushy, but he was a little manic. He was always like totally happy. I've got these great ideas and all that. One good thing, though, he did, a trait he did have, was once he elected these people to their positions, he kind of backed off. But he was inundated them with, well, I've got this great idea before they were even finished with the first one. Anyways, the greatest fame, I think, other than the Standard Oil afterwards, and that was near the end of the life of the magazine, but in the early years, she did a work on Abraham Lincoln. And you know, they had like 170,000 per month subscriptions from people, and they would jump up to where she got nearly 400,000. So I mean, tell you, by her writing alone in this one lone journalist, Ida Tarbell, she increased their circulation by almost 100%. So she could do no wrong. And she was very thorough. She would go check out records. I mean, she mostly stayed in-house and wrote and wrote and wrote. But they put her out on the road, and she had to go and visit people and go to the records and do it. You know, they didn't have internet or anything like that back then. So she really had to do put the shoe leather to the work. And she was one of the very, very few women in this industry of being a journalist at that time. And she was tough, but she was fair. And she made a great impetus in where things went and how she looked at them. They would go to Europe. He would go to Europe all the time. And then he started messing around and messed his marriage up, and that really disappointed a lot of people. And he knew he was wrong, but as soon as he got over that one, he got in with another gal, and so people just said, you're hopeless, you know. But anyways, they would, well, he knew Teddy Roosevelt. He'd go to the White House and hang out and have dinner and stuff with him. But they did want to be fair journalists, and when they started questioning some of the things, Teddy Roosevelt got peed off, and that was towards the end, the demise of it. But they weren't lying or not telling the truth, you know. But the thing about it is America was in a land-grabbing period right then, even after they'd taken the West and all of this stuff. So then they started overseas, and it just didn't bode well. But her biggest claim to fame was that she actually tried to get to Rockefeller, but a guy named Rogers would never let her. Would never let her get close to getting an interview or anything. And in the end, they felt betrayed that she had snuck in on them and all this stuff. But she really didn't like the guy because he'd done so many hostile takeovers that she didn't know if she was going to be fair or not. But she did write the article, and it came out, and it finally went to court and got the antitrust laws and all of that done. But still, but what really brought it down was that McClure, every time they would be doing great or something, he said, I got another idea, let's start another magazine, a newspaper or something, you know. And then after they peed the president off, or he did, they supposedly, then they just quit. And that really was the end of it. And he tried to hang on and keep publishing, but with Ida gone, and it broke his heart. He did love her as a journalist and said that he couldn't have done without her. But he just couldn't keep his hands off, you know, and in the end, it was really his fault that the McClures went down. But it was the great magazine of its time, and they revolutionized many processes and styles that we recognize in magazines today. And then, of course, after the turn of the century, then radio came in, and that put a big dent in it. And they didn't want to be a newspaper. He did dally on the ideas of newspapers, but in the end, he stayed with the magazine until its demise. And when it went down in flaming fame, you know. So, well, anyway, that's another great story, and I just figured that citizen journalists and citizen reporters, since we are an independent citizen journalist, and KRAZ-TV tries to be the press of truth, but we'll see what happens. I've been banned from YouTube just because I showed a political rally of a gubernatorial candidate here in Arizona. So I understand what's going on. Thanks for watching this fantastic story about two incredible people and a strong woman. You know, at YouTube and at the Zero Channel, we have two playlists, the same name, called our new Chiefs Are Strong Women. Thanks for watching, and remember, here's one. Goodbye, KRAZ-TV.